Here are the answers for exercise for lesson 1. Which of the following is used for connecting one PC with another? The answer for this is NIC. So every device has a NIC card, and so this is whether it could be a wireless or a wired. The answer is NIC. What does the acronym NIC stand for? The acronym NIC stands for Network Interface Card. Interfacing with the network. So the card is Network Interface Card. Option A is correct. The network internet control connector, network interconnect channel, network information controller, all these options B, C and D are incorrect. NIC card utilizes which connector? RJ11, RJ45, USB, HDMI. So the answer for this is RJ45. Is the RJ45 connector on a NIC card male or female? The answer is on a female. The female connector is on the NIC card. Okay. The cable connecting to a NIC card has which type of RJ45 connector? So as taught during the lesson, the cable or the wire that is used for connecting two PCs or the two NIC cards has RJ45 male connectors on both sides. I'll pause here for a second and stress on the points that RJ45 male, RJ45 female, the type of cable, all these are characteristics of layer 1 or the physical layer. Okay. Physical layer of the OSI model, and then later as we further discuss different lessons, the point that I will also stress is anything that is happening in zeros and ones is also happening in the physical layer or the layer 1 of the OSI model. Okay, moving on to the next question, question 6. Each NIC card has what type of address? The answer for this is each NIC card has a MAC address. Remember, while the connectors and the NIC card apparently appears to be acting on the physical layer, but the MAC address associated with the NIC card resides on the data link layer or layer 2 of the OSI model. So the answer though for the question number 6 is what each NIC card has what type of address? The answer is B, MAC address. But remember, the MAC address resides on the data link layer. Okay. Question 7. Can two NICs have the same MAC address? Let me modify this question. Can two hardware NICs, right, that are physical NICs have the same MAC address? No. The answer is no. There can be different companies or organizations manufacturing or producing NIC cards, but they have their own vendor ID, and accordingly one thing is for sure that no two NIC cards have the same MAC address. Now if somebody asks you, is there a possibility of changing the MAC address for a physical machine like a desktop? Yeah, you can, and the way you can change it is replace the NIC card with another NIC card. So that is one of the options. Okay. Moving on to question number 8. MAC address is also known as, remember a few minutes back I just mentioned that the MAC address resides on the data link layer. So this is also known as the data link layer address, and since it is residing on layer 2, we can also call it the layer 2 address. So the correct answers are B and C. Okay. Moving on to the 9th question. Okay. A frame typically contains which of the following fields? Very basic question. The reason I'm keeping it simple is so that you guys are able to gradually absorb and settle in your mind, right? So the common fields in a frame are source address, destination address and data. During the lecture, I mentioned there are 2 more fields that we are going to discuss, but those are going to be discussed later. Those are type and checksum. Hold on to that. No rush. First, let's get these concepts right. So the important crux or the takeaway here is the important fields in a frame as of now are source address, destination address and data. Okay. And if you can understand this, since we are saying that address is what address? MAC address. So we can start saying that interchangeably. Source address is same as source MAC address. Destination address is same as destination MAC address. Source address, source MAC. Destination address, destination MAC. And then if you are still able to comprehend and absorb this, we can also start saying that as SMAC and DMAC. Source MAC, SMAC. DMAC, destination MAC. Again, gradually get used to these terms. Okay. Moving on to question number 10. And in fact, in the question number 10 and the 11, the concept that I am trying to quiz you or try to pass you in so that you can absorb this is, what are the fields, right? What field is inspected by the receiving side, right? That is what it is. And what does it do after receiving, checking the DF, the field receiving side? What does it do after checking that field? It will either accept it or drop. So let's go over the question 10 and 11. In the below network topology, PC2 wants to send data to PC1. What will be the value of DA and SA field? So DA side. Okay, first let's go at SA. SA is anyone who's sending out data is going to use its own MAC address as SA or SMAC. Okay, that's what it is. So in this case, PC2 is sending, so the SA or the SMAC is going to be B. Okay, the receiving side is going to be, that's where the DA is going to put. Here it is intended for PC1, so the DA is going to be of PC1 and hence it is going to be A. So DA or DMAC is going to be A. Okay, so the correct answer in this case is B. Okay, moving on to 11, as I said, 10 and 11 are similar questions. We are just trying to make sure that you hone in the concept. Here PC1 is sending data to PC2, so PC1 is going to put its own address, which is A, in the SA field. So SA is going to be A, and it is going to put PC2's MAC address in the DA field. So SA equal to A and DA is equal to B is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 12. In the below network topology, which field does PC2 check when it receives the frame? The concept that here you should understand and perfect and get clarity 100% is, anytime you are receiving a frame, what are you checking, right? Whenever you receive an envelope, right? Somebody is sending you an envelope, right? What do you check? A package comes to your home, delivered. You check whether it has your name and it has your address on it. Sometimes the postman delivers the wrong envelope or the package at the wrong home. And when the person knocks on your door and you hands over to you, for example, a courier comes and say, hey, this is a parcel for you. Then what do you check, right? Is it really for my name or somebody else's name? If it is indeed for my name, I accept it. If it is not, I reject it. So what am I going to check? The destination address. So the receiving side, PC2, will check the destination address field. And why? Because to check whether it is really intended for it. Does it really belongs to it or not? Okay, so that's the reason. The answer for this is option A. In the question number 13, in the below network topology, PC3 receives a frame displayed below from PC4. What will it do and why? So PC3 is receiving a frame. It checks the DA, which is C, matches with its own address. Again, it is C, it matches, so it will accept it. So checking the DA field and then accepting is the option that you have to select. In here, the option A is exactly stating what I just explained. Okay. And finally, to the last question, in the below topology, again similar depiction shown here. DA is equal to E. PC3 receives it, checks the value of DA. it is E, tries to match it with its own MAC address, which is C. E is not equal to C, definitely the package or the frame is not intended for it, it drops it. Okay, so by this time, right, after doing this lesson quiz, you should be clear about the concepts about what is the NIC card, what is the port that goes in it, RJ45, whether it is male or female, what is the type of cable connected, what are the RJ45 male or RJ45 female goes on the end. The next thing is the source address, the destination address, and the data field. And as I mentioned here during this explanation, DA can also be DMAC, SA can also be thought about as SMAC. And of course, right, if you receive a frame, you check the destination address field, and if it matches, good, you accept it. If it does not match, you drop it or reject it. Okay, hope that helps.